In this video, I will explain the differences between an impaired driving charge and an over 80 charge. First, some context. Two of the most common charges for drinking and driving are impaired driving and over 80. These are two different charges under the Criminal Code of Canada. Some people are charged with both an over 80 and impaired driving. And that usually happens when a police officer believes there is enough evidence to convict you on both charges. And in some cases, you'll get charged with one offense, but after the Crown receives the evidence, they may add the other charge at a later date. Now, I'm going to take you through the main differences between an impaired driving charge and an over 80 charge. Impaired driving is about the effect of alcohol. Let me explain. The term driving while impaired refers to the effects that alcohol has on your driving abilities. And the amount of alcohol you consume has nothing to do with this charge. Even if you sipped a small amount of alcohol, that may impact your ability to drive because people react differently to alcohol in their system. And even with a tiny amount of alcohol in your system, you may be guilty of an impaired driving charge. Now, over 80 is a measurement based on science. Let me explain. The lawmakers decided that if you have over 80 milligrams of alcohol per 100 milliliters of blood, your ability to drive will be so impacted that you pose a real threat to public safety. And that would be the case even if you believe you are okay to drive. And to determine whether you have more than 80 milligrams of alcohol in your blood, the police will ask you to take a breathalyzer test. And if you blow above 80, you will be subject to an over 80 charge. So those are the key differences. Impaired driving is about the effect of alcohol. Over 80 is a measurement based on science. Now, before I go, here are a few more important things you should know about impaired driving and over 80 charges. You can't be convicted on both charges. While the police have charged you with both impaired driving and an over 80 charge, you can't be convicted on both charges. You can, however, be convicted on other related charges, such as refusal to provide a breathalyzer sample. This would be an additional conviction to either an over 80 or impaired driving charge. Lastly, the penalties are the same. Regardless of whether you're charged with impaired driving or an over 80, the penalties are the same on conviction. Bottom line, they're both serious charges with the same serious penalties. If you've been charged with drunk driving, DUI, impaired driving, or refusing a breathalyzer test, your legal strategy can make the difference between winning and losing. Reach out, let's have a confidential and free discussion about your case. I've included a link that connects directly to my calendar. That link is in the description. Click on it, book a call. Let's have a discussion about a legal strategy.